Reeves also uses the name Peggy Reeves, and she is a unique international business and life coach. She's led seminars both here and abroad in English and in Spanish, and she offers a transformation through digging deep into who we are to discover your power in accountability, focus, and support. Her life experiences have led her through many opportunities to make a difference in others' lives. She's a former teacher, a teacher trainer, a social worker, a professor working with people of all ages from many different cultures and countries. Whenever I've been introduced to speak, I like to hear a little bit of applause. Let's welcome her to the podium with a round of applause.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. So the topic is turn your problems into gifts. And I have to keep looking. Okay, the title is because Reverend Diane chose the topic. And so I've come up with this. I don't know about you, but I've had so many problems in my life that I can't even remember most of them. And that's an interesting statement, I think, because actually when you go through something that seems horrific, you kind of forget about it, like the birth of a child or the drama of something, and something great happens after that, and then you feel, oh, whew. So indulge me with this story about these two old farmers that was maybe 200 years ago, and they were on a 2-track. Of course, they didn't have. Anyway, so one of them says, I haven't seen you in a while. How's it been going? Oh, pretty good. A couple weeks ago, 3 of my horses ran away. Well, that's too bad. Well, maybe. But 4 days later, 4 more horses came with the 3. And they were wild horses. Well, that's good. Maybe. But one of those new wild horses kicked my son's, broke his leg. Well, that's too bad. Maybe. And that's how our life goes, isn't it? Seems. I mean, it's some of the most painful moments, i.e. the relationship you thought was pretty good ends. The job that defined you for 20 years is over, goes away. Or all the people that you counted on turn their backs on you. Maybe it was God, the universe, guiding you toward your truest desire and ultimately your destiny. My dad used to say, sometimes you got to hit a horse over the head with a 2x4. Well, he didn't really mean that literally, but he was talking about God. Sometimes there's something gets your attention. I've met many people in 12-step programs who say, well, I wouldn't want to get in the way of anybody's bottoming out. And I've been in a program that constantly is saying, break down, break through, break down, break through. But I've been thinking a lot about this, and my question to you is, what if none of that is true? What if it's just a belief, like money doesn't grow on trees, or you got to work hard to get ahead, or life is hard? What if it's just old programming? What if in the midst of our turmoil, we could get still, let go, and listen for the treasure? And in that space of letting go, we could hear guidance for the next step, where we will find our treasure, grace and abundance. We've all had stand-down moments that require ourselves to get centered. When we get quiet, we can become more observant, less reactive. more contemplative. What was it that I think Einstein said? You can't solve a problem with the same energy that it was created with. So when we get quiet, we are less reactive, and we raise our vibrating frequency, where we are more apt to trust in the generosity of the ever-present benevolence of God, the universe. As we release our fears, we connect with the truth, capital T. Every challenge opens a new door, bringing us closer to our destiny. There's a gift in every problem. When things are flowing the way we want them to, it's easy to feel we're living in harmony with the rhythm of the universe. But when there's a gap between what we want and how we want our lives to go and how it's unfolding, we're more apt to judge ourselves as wrong, or the situation is unfair, or we might judge ourselves for our perceived failures. And when our minds are in angst, resistance, painful thoughts, it's difficult to access our innate state of wisdom, clarity, and creativity. We get caught up in our thoughts, and we may even think we are our thoughts. In Florida, I had a friend that used to keep saying to me over and over, "Peggy, get out of your head." I didn't understand what she meant. I mean, my head is just like, it goes, it's lethal. It can be dangerous. When we are in meditation, the mind settles, and we are able to witness our thoughts and our limiting stories as a detached observer. And then we begin to see the hidden gifts from that expanded awareness or space. When we step back with a shift of perception, we realize that what appeared to be a devastating setback has actually cleared the way for rebirth and transformation. You all know about the sequoia trees out in California. One of them is 3,500 years old. Now, what's their secret of longevity? It's the elemental power of fire, which kills the little saplings that, if allowed to grow, would take away the light from the sequoia. And the heat of the fire forces the cone to open up so the seeds for new sequoia can come out. So think about your own life. What felt like a dream going up in flames ended with the start of something more wonderful than we could ever have imagined. From the soul's perspective, there is no such thing as failure or success. There's only the present moment, which is where we find gratitude and infinite possibilities. I happened to see a guy this morning. Actually, was it this morning? I think so. On the early television, and he is still serving coffee at some restaurant. He's 94 years old, or he's 96 or 98. I don't know. He's a World War II veteran. And he said that what keeps him going is gratitude. And I really feel that way too. That's a little aside. But as we release our to spirit all thoughts and feelings about our perceived problems, we can fill the newly cleared space with the infinite love and joy. As we step into the abundance and find our resilience, we open ourselves up to prosperity and infinite potential. A gift resides in every problem. What if, in the next time you got some really what you perceive as bad news, you wait 72 hours? That's 3 days. And in that space, write down all the possibilities of great things that could happen out of this so-called bad situation. What if we could have blissful breakdowns? I made this up. What if we could have blissful breakdowns, which are breakthroughs, which could be, and we could be at cause in the matter of our lives rather than at the effect? Let's try something. Think about a really bad time, something horrible that happened to you. Don't dwell on it, but just remember it, think about it, and then bookmark it, put it over here for a minute. Now think of a blissful time when you felt just so wonderful and in the moment and content. I'm thinking about 2 days ago when I was sitting out looking up at my tree, just feeling content and bliss. Now hang on to that feeling, anchor it. Okay, now imagine that you're about to step into that bad time that you did have. Stop and take 3 deep breaths, and let's do that together. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Now put yourself in that fabulous feeling you had that you chose. Put yourself there and hang on to your heart. Touch your heart right now. Now you're about to step into this terrible thing, and you stop and do what I just said, 3 breaths, and touch your heart. Put yourself in that awesome moment when you felt great, and now ask yourself, what's a more effective response to this situation? And listen. Listen for the answer. And the answer, when you listen for your heart, your God self speaks through your heart. And that's your intuition. And then there's the answer. Now, it might sound like, yeah, right. I got this major thing that happens to me, like I get stopped by the cops or whatever. But it doesn't take that long to take 3 deep breaths and hold on to your heart. And just get yourself in a place where, just put yourself in that fabulous feeling that you have when you're, whatever. Could be something dramatic like the birth of a child, or it could be just sitting out underneath a tree and looking up. Put yourself there and then ask sincerely, what is a more effective response? Now, I'm going to suggest that you take this on with me. I'm going to be in an inquiry for the next 3 weeks. Anytime something shows up that is not what you want, or it seems, ask yourself just do that 3 things. 3 deep breaths. Put yourself in that fabulous place where you were when you felt just wonderful, and then ask, what's a more effective response? And then we're going to do it for 3 weeks. I'll be coming here, I think, most of the, and then we'll share how you do it, because it's a practice like everything else. And I want to close with one thing that really blew my mind. I got a text last night from my buddy Eddie, and I just thought, this is so wild. It's from some quote from some Maharishi, I don't know. But anyway, here's the quote. The present difficulty is that the man thinks he's the doer, but it's a mistake. It is the higher power which does everything, and the man is only a tool. If he accepts that position, he is free from troubles. Otherwise, he courts them. So, thank you all for having me here, and it's been fun. Thank you. Oh, I got one more thing. This is the book that I got and some of those ideas. And this is a Unity minister. I got this when I went to the Unity Village, or the Unity Conference. And this is a whole heart math, and it says your spiritual heart, but it's just a practice. And this guy has had all kinds of horrible things, from his wife dying and the doctor telling him, but it's amazing how it can work. I'm out to try to prove it. Thank you. Okay, well, let's take 3 deep breaths and get centered. And just appreciate who we are and where we've come from. Not to dwell on the past and the problems, but just to be in touch with the real you. This is your real you. And to get how connected we all are. This is a community. And just as Jerry said, we all have different talents, different flames, but together, it's amazing what we can do. And it's about who we're being. So let's keep that space, that heart space, open for whatever shows up. And remember, it's just 3 steps. 3 deep breaths. Feel that wonderful feeling you had with that moment when you felt just great. And then ask the question, what's a more effective response to this? And let's just play a game for 3 weeks and share with each other. And just all of us acknowledge who we are.
So I wrote this song some years ago. It seems to fit very well with what you spoke about today. The name of the song is Learn to Let Go. Life takes us down many roads, down through the years. There's hopes, there's dreams, it's seldom what it seems. Love above all. There's rocky roads and rocking boats, calm and rough seas. There's an uphill climb and a downhill glide, but it's more how you take things. As I try to learn to let go, my attachment, it grows, and it pulls away a part of me. In this life, my waking dream. As babes we're born, into children we grow, teens, adult, elderly. Each step of the way, in work or in play, the past is so hard to let go. Life is full of letting go. Release opens the door. From babes at breast to a wedding dress, friends and loved ones leave life shore. As I try to learn to let go, my attachment, it shows, and it pulls away a part of me. In my life, my waking dream. On roads uncertain till we draw the curtain, not much we can be sure. Not many things last a lifetime, and life goes too fast. And love, it's the only thing that lasts. as I try to learn to let go. My attachment, it goes. Release opens the door to the next adventure. Release opens the door to the next adventure.